Okay, the season is over officially. Now we can move on to the portal. That's exciting. God, we've already been on the portal, but still.
I just texted my buddies and I said, I'm so sad we don't get basketball for 7 months.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's setting in now.
Yeah. Well, it sucks. The Big Ten loses another basketball national championship for the second day in a row as Purdue goes down to a UConn team that's going to go down as one of the greatest teams ever, I think. And I don't think you could find a better 3-loss team than this. I don't know. You probably could, but it just feels like the fact that this team even lost 3 games is absurd. Of course, 2 of them were in like a pretty quick stretch. I mean, if you look at this UConn team, they finished 37-3. And since they came into this tournament, I believe I think one of the things I wrote down on my dry erase board before the tournament was they were 21-1 since losing to Seton Hall. So now 27-1 since losing to Seton Hall on December 20th. They were 10-2 at that point. Now 37-3. I think this game kind of went exactly what we can. I mean,
it wasn't as close as we predicted, but yeah.
No, the
UConn, perimeter. Yeah. They're different beasts. We said Gillis had to make shots. Braden Smith had to have the game of his life.
This is a really good Purdue team.
How many threes did they end up taking?
Not enough.
They took 2 in the first half, trying to pull up the box score, but
this is a really good Purdue team that didn't look like they belonged on the same floor as UConn. That's the thing about this UConn team. They made a Purdue team that was elite.
Yeah.
It looked like they were playing a different sport. And the perimeter was a huge thing. The way that Castle could impact the game, the ball pressure from UConn's guards. I mean, it was a completely different level. And you would have needed Edey to have 50 and everybody to be in foul trouble and UConn to miss shots. And none of those things really happened. Edey seemed to get tired after completely carrying the load. He was great early.
Yeah.
And then UConn takes over. Like their ball movement, they're moving like just
they just warm out. The perimeter. Right?
Every time you think you have a stop, a guard sneaks through the baseline, grabs a rebound or Caravan. So like,
yeah. How many? They have 14 offensive rebounds. I mean, they tapped the ball around. They kept Edey off of, that side of rebounding. He had 6 defensive, 4 offensive. So I mean, you limited Edey to 10 rebounds, which is huge. And they played the let Edey get his. Klingon will take him 1-on-1. I know he had 37, but 15 of 25 shooting from 2 foot away.
Yeah,
it's not spectacular. I mean, Edey came to play. Edey showed up.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that their guards couldn't get an open look was the game changer.
Yeah, and you know what? I think we got the full Cam Spencer experience in this game, where all the things he does, like you literally can't. He's like the epitome of a guy who's been playing college basketball forever. Because every time you think you have him or you try to speed him up, like he finds a way to get a good look.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. And here's a few numbers, okay? UConn last year was plus 20 in average scoring margin in the tournament. They were plus 23.3 this year. So that's just an absurd stat. This is their 6th national championship in program history, all of which have happened in the last 25 years. They're 6-0 in title games. Go to the women's team. The women's team's 11-1 in title games. Dan Hurley now back-to-back national titles as a coach at the age of 51. His brother won back-to-back titles as a player at Duke, and his dad won 26 state titles in high school at St. Anthony. Hurley, you think basketball at this point. And,
absolutely.
He inherited a UConn program that was in a weird spot. Things did not work out at the end of the Ollie era. He won a national championship, which is still the most insane thing ever, that Kevin Ollie won a national championship game as a head coach. Just absurd. And then he kind of turned it around. And this team being better than last year's team is both crazy and true. Like, I don't understand how this team could have been better than last year's team, because last year's team was great. I know they were a 4 seed, but they also dominated the tournament. And you can't really say, oh, UConn won a national championship, but they didn't beat a worthy opponent because of the San Diego State thing. You can't say that now. So,
Right. You're absolutely right.
Big Ten chokes again. Purdue, you suck. You'll never win a championship.
Yeah. Jay, what's going on? Illinois and Purdue has something in common. They were competitive for a half. UConn is too good. Yeah. Illinois technically got like 4th place in March Madness, right? Can we hang that banner?
Hang it.
Quackle, well-deserved UConn dub. Yeah, Cam Spencer is like on the other one, the March Madness one, the championship game, look ahead, whatever. We asked if Tristan Newton was better than Braden Smith, and I think Cam Spencer is better than Braden
Yeah.
Smith. So the fact that you asked about maybe the third best guy is better than Purdue's second best guy. So
Yeah.
that should be put to bed, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, Tristan Newton has been phenomenal in both title games. He had 19 in last year's, and he was great tonight. Made some big shots. And like they just have so many guys that can impact the game in different ways. Like Castle's not a great shooter, but he made a big three. His mid-range jumper, I think he's like 40-something% from one side of the court in the mid-range, and he's obviously super athletic. And I think the reason he's going to be a top 6 or 7 pick is because of the athleticism, the size, the
and
defense,
his age, right?
the age, yeah,
he
which
can
I think
develop
is
into a better shooter.
Yeah, I think that's starting to matter less, but it still matters for a guy like Castle who came into UConn as a freshman, a 5-star freshman, played a ton. He was great tonight. He could just eliminate, like the second that he did what he did to Terrence Shannon, I think we should have been like, okay, he can do that to anybody.
Yeah. And Braden Smith got some open looks. He missed a couple early jumpers.
A lot of off screens.
Yeah, knocked down one later, double screens at that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they were going to, and it was try to lob to Edie because he couldn't find anybody on the exterior. I mean, everybody was just covered the whole time, and Purdue doesn't have anything when they don't have three. I mean, Edie can go get his, but when the guards are 1 of 7 from three. And you got to think, UConn 6 of 22 from three. If they would have hit some threes, this game they would have won by 25.
Yeah, I think another part of this is just the fact that this UConn team, I think everybody knew what their plan was going to be in this game. I think everybody knew the way they were going to try to beat Purdue, and it didn't matter if Purdue knew that because they didn't really have a counter. Like they would have just had to, okay, if they're going to let us, or if they're going to take away the three, we just got to
let's get Fletcher Lawyer to the basket. It was a thought for like 3 plays in a row, which was crazy because that's obviously not his game at all. But they couldn't find another way to get him open, which. Those guys have gotten open all year long. So what UConn can do defensively with their length and their ball pressure is a step above anybody else in college basketball.
It's probably 2 steps.
Yeah. I mean, Iowa State best defense, whatever.
Yeah,
it's not the same.
UConn, by the way, UConn would have beaten that Iowa State team like 85-40, honestly. Yeah. Because at some point, Iowa State would have worn down and UConn would have just kept coming and making shots. Like UConn, they have so so they have let's just all run around the court. We'll slip a guy into the paint. Like they had that play where Spencer came off of a screen. Purdue defender jumped up, slipped it right underneath the Caravan for an easy dunk. Mm-hmm. Like that was the one I think you texted me about, that play.
Yeah, and that was Sampson that made that pass that dumped it off the Caravan.
Yeah, I mean,
And Sampson got to the basket 2 times in a row, I think, for easy dunks.
He missed one, or else it would have been 3.
Yeah. So it's just they never stop moving. They never stop setting double screens. They wear you out. And
who the hell else can hold Purdue to 60 points?
Yeah.
Nobody. I mean, when was the last time they'd been close to that? They scored 67 and beat Michigan State. They scored 68 and beat Rutgers. They scored 67 against Maryland and won. Yeah, they haven't even really been close to not scoring above 60. In this game, they only put up 60. And it was a pretty big reflection of what UConn was doing to them defensively. It's too much. And even a coach like Painter, who's I think is one of the best in the game, nothing you could do there.
Yeah, and I was excited to see what Painter tried to do in the second half. He switched it up. I think that the Kaufman-Wren Caravan matchup probably could have been utilized a little bit more. It seemed like in the second half they brought Kaufman-Wren out to the 3-point line instead of trying to post him up, because I thought that he did well in that matchup early on, but they just kind of went away from it. So, and the fact that Edey got 4 foul, got Sampson fouled out and got 4 on Klingon, and they still won by 15. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what to say. They're
I know
literally a different level.
People are going to make fun of Illinois. 30-0 run, all this stuff. Come on, none of that matters. I mean, UConn did it to everybody. They proved it. Like Alabama shot the lights out against them from 3, and they won by 14. Purdue was one of the best teams in the country all year and won 34 games. They held them to 60 and won by 15. It's just like, I mean, Purdue, second best 3-point shooting team in the country, and UConn completely took that away.
Yeah.
And they wore him out. And, the thing about Caravan defensively is, like, I feel like he settles in to games because he got beat by TK early. Then he had a block at one point.
Yeah.
And then he was guarding
Edey. Then he had Edey
match.
matchup. Yeah.
He got hammered by Edey. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. I mean, to go to that. But at that point, they were up 20-something, 20. So it didn't matter as much. But still, I mean, your bigs got in foul trouble. Edey got 37 and you won by 15. It's crazy. So
it feels like Mason Gillis was kind of invisible in this tournament.
He had some really good rebounds.
Just like what he does best, which is shooting 47% from 3.
Yeah, he was
okay. I was wrong about invisible, but the Grambling game 0 for 2, the Tennessee game 0 for 2. He did go 2 for 3 against Gonzaga and Utah State, but I just mean like.
But he is invisible. I think the reason you think that he probably isn't is because he put up like 29 against Illinois.
He does murder Illinois. That's true.
and we'll have to deal with that tomorrow or next year. Tomorrow too.
If you look up Purdue UConn on Google right now, there's fireworks on the screen.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Let's see. If Edey wasn't rolling early, this game wouldn't have been close from the start. Purdue guards were shell-shocked, and that's what UConn does. It's insane. Yeah, like Edey was National Player of the Year first half, first 15 minutes or whatever it was. Klingon gotten him a little bit in the second half, and started getting down on himself. So, but I think he bounced back, but still, he didn't have anybody to help him tonight. Scheidwinder says 24 UConn or 05 UNC.
Maybe prisoner of the moment, but I think I'd take UConn. I also think this UConn.
I would 100% take UConn.
I think this UConn team, I hate to say it, Illini fans, I think this UConn team is also better than the 05 Illini team.
Yeah.
Which, I
got
the championship.
Jay says the only thing I question with Castle at this moment is his shot. He's only a freshman, so I expect him to improve. He's got everything else. Yeah, I texted Ethan during the game, and I said, this guy's a lottery pick, and he said, blah, blah, blah from UConn went to the NBA. What was that guy's name?
Andre Jackson,
obviously.
I mean, the thing about Castle is he's not a great shooter, but he's not incapable. Like, he didn't shoot a good percentage from 3, but he can make them. He's made like 4 in the last 2 games of the tournament when they gave it to him. And he has like all the other tools. Like, he had some big rebounds. He missed that layup, which was tough, but that was a bad pass by Spencer, or a risky pass.
That was tough.
He rebounds. He's super athletic. He's a shutdown defender. He's got length. He's got the profile of a 5-star, which matters in terms of talent. We see
6'6".
Yeah,
and they said they're not joking about 6'6" on the broadcast tonight. So Illini cast partners. Do we call ourselves partners? I don't even know what we are. We're both under Armchair, so go check them out if you haven't. But he says, I feel dumb for thinking this game would be close. I mean, I think as a basketball fan, when your team's not in it, you just hope it's close. Like, you want it to be a game. Like, I was still hoping Purdue would come back. I was happy they were down 10, but I was still hoping they would come back and make it a game.
I think deep
just think that's
down
what
we
you
all
think.
knew that UConn was going to
It
roll
was
them.
over after like down 10. I like honestly after that 3, I think it was like 17 minutes left in the second half. I'm like, uh-oh, this could be
And then
trouble.
and then it was
And then Purdue made a run back, right?
I believe it was 59-42, and Castle had a 3 from the corner that went in halfway in and out.
Yeah.
Would have made it a 20-point game.
Yeah.
That would
that thing was in the basket. Yeah.
And by the way, Dan Hurley's adding Ahmad Noel, who's a stud 4-star guard, like almost a 5-star, second best player in the state of Pennsylvania for next year's class. And he's adding Isaiah Abraham, who's a 6'7" wing 4-star, fourth best player in the state of Virginia. So those two are probably going to be studs next year because he can use them the way that he used some of the other freshmen off the bench this year.
Yeah, until he's at Kentucky, right?
Please.
Wesley says, how much money does Kentucky offer Hurley? I mean, I honestly think it would have to be 15 for him to even think about leaving.
Him leaving would really suck for the sport. I got to be honest. I think just because, like,
by the way, Hurley, like, okay, I am on the side that Hurley can be a prick, right? I've said it.
I think you have to. I think everybody thinks that,
but he's a hell of a coach, and most coaches that are really good have that intensity. My brother that coaches girls basketball at Mount Pulaski has that intensity. I think there's something to that, but like he shoved a guy on the court.
Sometimes you get into it too much. I think it was a lot more funny since they were up 15 and the game was over.
Yeah, I don't think it mattered as much, but
I think the best part of the entire game might have been when they had the close-up of his son holding the ball and he's saying, "Don't run anything. 5, there's 5, there's 5." Just like yelling at him, like, "Do not do anything."
Yeah. I like they closed up on him after that ball that went out of bounds, and he said, "What's that shit?" Like plain as day. You knew the announcers could tell it was plain as day, and so they're like, "What a perfect close up." So that's got to be a meme. If nobody makes that a meme, can you make that one for me or a GIF or something so I can send it to my friends?
I'll definitely do.
I don't know how to do that stuff. So
yeah.
Free throws, 15 and 11. So you complained about the refs a lot in the text messages, by the way.
I was rooting so hard for UConn to win.
A lot.
I didn't want to live in a world where Purdue had a chance.
You picked Purdue.
I don't care. Once the lights come on, I don't fucking want Purdue to win a national championship. Are you kidding me? I don't give a shit about the Big Ten. The conference sucks. Neither of these teams are a reflection of their conference. UConn's dominant no matter what. Purdue's dominant no matter what.
How dominant can Purdue be next year without Zach Edey? Because
I don't think dominant is the right word. I think they could be very good.
Braden Smith, as good as he's a guy that can lob it to somebody. Apparently, Heidi is a guy that he can lob it to now. That was an insane dunk, maybe the dunk of the year. But will he be able to do that next year, you think? Do you think that this big redhead that's coming off the bench can do that for him? Because he shot that one floater. He didn't care if it went in. It almost hit the top of the backboard. Somehow fell in. Like that's his game. Is he as good as he is right now without Zach Edey?
Probably, definitely not from an assist standpoint, you know?
Yeah.
He can shoot it. He's got that mid-range jumper. I don't know. I think he's good enough to be like a first-team all Big Ten contender for Big Ten National Player of the Year over the next 2 years. But I like a lot of it.
You think he's an All-American for 2 years in a row after
probably
this?
Probably not. No, definitely not.
Okay.
Maybe one. Maybe he gets in his senior year.
There's people that say that he is. So
I don't know. I think tonight we saw that he can be shut down if you put Stephon Castle on him. And I thought Terrence Shannon did a pretty good job against him in most of that game against Illinois.
Yeah. I mean, again, he still had 8 assists tonight, but a lot of those are throw it up to 7-4 and pray that he catches it. So
yeah, I mean, I'm always going to trust Painter to have a good team. I think they'll be good next year. I think they'll be better than some may think, just because I think people are going to think that Edie being gone is going to be the end of the world. But I'll say right now, I think the breakout player right now, as we get ready for the summer and all that, a lot can change. But I think the breakout candidate of the year for the Big Ten next year is going to be TKR. I think he's going to have a big season. I think he could be like a 16-9 guy, 16-8.
Yeah, and that's what I like. Could Purdue, like, we as Illinois fans, we went through it with Kofi. Like, that's kind of the offense you had to run. You had Io to help that out, who could get to the basket. But Purdue as a motion offense without having to worry about a Zach Edey, I think could be really good.
Yeah, they've also always, for the most part, had that giant center.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a style thing. Like Trevion Williams is a different type of player than Edey is.
Right.
And Harms was different and Swanigan was different. So it's unique, and they're always going to have that presence underneath. It's just about how big of a role is that guy going to play in the offense.
Because Painter can run a really good motion offense.
Yeah.
Like really good sets, kind of like how Hurley does. Hurley, of course, has Klingon also, but he brings Klingon away, and Klingon is, even though he's big, I mean, he did shoot a three. You're not going to see Zach Edey shoot a three unless he banks one in randomly.
Zach Edey 1 for 2 from 3 this year.
30-point game.
Took 2 threes. That's more than Ty Rodgers. Also for Purdue, they're returning 3 important sophomores: TKR, Smith, Lawyer.
Yeah.
So that continuity will matter. Plus the fact that Heidi had a good year as a freshman. I think he's going to have be even better next year.
I think Colvin will be really good. No,
I wonder if Colvin comes back.
That's true.
I don't know. I could see him transferring, but it's early. Thoughts on Wesley not hating this UConn team? I think it's the UConn's kind of different in the fact that, like, I know they've won 6 titles in the last 25 years, but they've just, like, they had Calhoun and then they had Ollie and now they have Hurley, and it's different. I don't think it's built. I don't know. They haven't been a national brand. They are a national brand, but they haven't been talked about or thought of in the way that Duke, North Carolina, Kansas have been this entire time. They've had down years.
And Hurley mentioned that earlier in the week, right? Or recently. And what was today? Flooded about Kentucky. So
yeah, there you go.
It's not wrong. Illini Caps, I bet Purdue to win. If they did, I'd be miserable, but at least I'd be richer. Never bet with your heart, brother. Never. Cheesang, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. Got UConn -5.5. One of the easiest bets of all time. Yeah, that's crazy. Wesley, Lawyer was an absolute zero in this game. When he drove and missed the layup off the side of the backboard, I laughed out loud. That's not his game. Like, they have to find a way to get him open to shoot. Honestly, he's Luke Goody. They played together in high school. He's Luke Goody. Might be a little bit more skilled in the mid-range, but they're pretty much the same player. And his game is not going to the basket. It never has been. It never will be.
I find it comical if Purdue fans actually thought their perimeter could compete with UConn's perimeter. Like, if they watch 5 seconds. If they watch 5 seconds of UConn tape this year, they'd be like, what the hell are we going to do?
I'm missing one shining moment right now.
I'll put the volume on. You can put the volume on yours. Sears, Colorado, first round.
Northwestern.
Yeah.
Has Illinois been shown? Oh, Coleman blowing kisses.
A&M. Houston. Boo Booey crying. Dambrot. Baylor. They showed Baylor.
I don't know where you're at. You might be ahead of me.
Colorado.
I'm at Colorado right now.
Towards the end.
Oh, there's Boo Boo crying. Did all we get was Coleman kisses?
They showed Coleman again. It was like nothing. They didn't even show Shannon. What the hell?
Shannon winning play, throwing it off the arm, the leg.
They showed Klingon oop against Illinois. Really? No,
Coleman again.
no Shannon, huh? Okay,
There it is.
whatever. Do what you want. They showed Castle dunking on Coleman. We're in the exact same spot we were. UConn wins again. Oh, they showed Ty Rogers. Ty Rogers crying.
Okay.
That was underwhelming. Terrible job. Grant Nelson dunking on Klingon. That finish by Newton when he leaned into Edie and then like was going backwards in the air and just flipped it up. That was sick. They just showed that. So we ended up in the exact same spot we were last year with UConn winning national championship. Crazy. Terrible one training mode. They did a terrible job. Will Purdue have 4 players over 42% from 3 next year? I'd say hell no. Yeah, that feels unlikely. I think they're going to have to figure out ways to get open again because part of why they were so open this year was Edie passing out and that threat underneath. So,
all right.
They got to figure that out.
Here I am.
Going undefeated in championship games is nothing to sneeze at. Yeah, they going undefeated with 3 different coaches in 6 games too. Calhoun was 3-0, Ollie 1-0, which still I cannot believe that happened, and then Hurley 2-0. After what they did to us, I knew they'd do the same to Purdue. Coleman has to come back now and get a better moment. Yeah, we don't need that. You guys already talking about Sincere coming back? No, but
I honestly was just gonna say, all right, one shining moment's over. We're done. Let's talk Illinois.
All right, yeah, Sincere. I mean, look, I reported it yesterday. I had the report.
Did you?
In text messages to people. And tweet it though.
Let me make sure I spell it right.
I think we all knew that was going to happen, right? I don't know. Was there really that much doubt?
How does he spell?
Sencire,
right? There we go. That'll get the views up. Anyways, I told you UConn would do that to Purdue. What's up, Sean?
I don't know if he did, but yeah. Sean, if you think Kentucky wants Brad Underwood, you are on a different planet.
Sincere Harris returning. Put out a 5.5 minute.
That's kind of
video.
That's a bit much.
I watched 2 minutes of it. I'm not gonna lie, but went to the right a lot. Attacked our best defender, Terrence Shannon Jr. Did some stuff around the rim. It looked good. I mean, pull up threes, making free. He had like some free throw clips in there, which I thought was weird.
He went 4 for 20 in his one season.
Yeah. So, yeah, excitement, right? Sincere mixtape drop. Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of messed up that people had doubt that he would be able to, or that he would come back.
I think it's weird too. I mean, like he said this whole time he's committed. He's never wavered from that at all. Like
I get the mistrust,
no waiver.
Yeah.
I guess you don't trust guys these days, but like he never wavered from staying at.
I think we chose to trust him. I don't think we ever said that we were legitimately thought he would just transfer or super concerned about it. The hell was that?
I smacked my mic. So
yeah, I mean, Sincere, I don't think his role is going to be that much different, at least when the season starts. Like 6-man, 20 minutes stuff, you know?
Yeah, I'm sad, Wes. Yeah, do you think Sincere, like, what do you think? He's 6 minutes? Is that what you said?
I said 6-man, 20 minutes.
Okay. I was reading, thinking, upset all at the same time. I could see him starting.
I think it would depend on if a certain guard.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to talk about that.
If a certain guard ends up doing something that we didn't expect him to do and ends up on the team this year or the portal. guards. Because right now it's like
True.
who are the guards in this team? Like Ty, I don't think Ty. Do we think Ty is going to start again next year? I'm not so sure. I would almost say that Sincere returning or Sincere looking the way he looked in that video, and then having a full year to develop his game completely without playing. I would almost say it's more likely that he would start
in a whole off season, right? I mean, he's going to be here for a whole off season. Hinkle says, I don't think Butler news was a coincidence.
To the Sincere thing or the other thing that I did not name names?
I don't know. Hinkle knows more than we do. So, Chizang, he going to want to go at Sky Chester moment. Anyone?
Yeah, I think he's referring to when UCLA and Illinois play, if Sincere bumps Sky Clark in the pregame, the way that Chester did to Eric Gordon.
Yeah, I think I think that Chester's kind of taken Sincere under his wing, and I love that. Like a guard that's going to have Chester's mentality. Again, he looked good. Like he was all left hand his freshman year, and he looked good going right in the mixtape. He looked good at mid range. Like I know that mixtapes are usually your best stuff, but I was impressed by it. So I'm excited for it.
How many UConn players were transfers?
All but 2?
3.
3.
Spencer, Newton.
All but 2.
Spencer, Newton, Diarra. Diarra came from Texas A&M. Spencer came from Rutgers.
Right. Diarra's not a starter.
No, but 3 of he said players, not starters.
I know. I was just.
Yeah.
Never mind.
You don't remember Spencer at Rutgers? It was just last year. Probably because they weren't good enough for him to.
No, I was talking about starters. Is what I was talking about. I was saying that 2 of them were returning. 3 of them were returning. Was my thing. One was
nobody was talking about that.
Klingon was returning. All right.
2 of the starters were
enough. Shut it down.
2 of the starters from last year were returning. Don't have Ty start. That's it depends on what the team looks like, though. Fair.
Yeah, the thing is, like, you can't have Ty starting as a point guard.
No, God, no. Can't do that again.
Ty could easily start at the 4.
Yeah, I think it depends on what the pieces around him look like,
That's true, and it depends on what other, like, guy, like, I don't know, teams run 4 guards and a forward these days.
Ty needs to develop a jump shot.
He has to be able to shoot. Yes. He has to be able to shoot.
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt about that. The Jace Butler thing official today. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Do we want to let me make a banner for that? I'm really good at making them.
And then say, make a banner that says there's a certain player that might do something that we didn't expect a year earlier than we expected for a certain player that may or may not be
how's that one?
Tied to Illinois. Yeah. Jace Butler ditches, runs from the grind I think is the take we're going with. I don't know. I mean,
runs from the grind.
Yeah. If you're going to want guaranteed playing time as a freshman and you're not a top 20 McDonald's All-American 5-star, you're probably not going to get it at Illinois. So best of luck to him. We kind of addressed this on the episode yesterday, but I feel like now that it's official, we can, go even further and go after him and attack him.
I actually got a text message and said, heard it first on the Illini Basketball Podcast. Boom.
Well, we didn't
even though we questioned the fact that it was
if it was going to happen.
That. So
UConn is the official national title favorite for 2025, by the way. It's UConn at plus 900, Duke 10-1, Houston 11.
Next year?
Kansas, North Carolina, Alabama.
Who are they even bringing back?
UConn?
Yeah. Nobody?
Samson Johnson will be back. They got those 2 freshmen coming in. I'm sure they'll be great in the portal.
Dan Hurley's a masterclass.
Newton's gone because he was a 5th year. Klingon, Klingon's probably gone, but I wouldn't be surprised if he were. Caravan will be back. He'll only be a junior. They had 4 freshmen this year. They'll develop those guys. It doesn't matter who's returning; they're going to be good no matter what. I don't know if they'll be this good, but
Jace right here. Jay says rather have a proven transfer than a high 3-star, low 4 anymore. How about a 17-year-old? Would you like a 17-year-old?
How about a freshman from Mercer transfer? Is he proven? Lot to like though. A lot to like with the potential development.
She's saying he's now an every other day guy. JK. It's best for both parties. Yeah, if he wanted to play, and that's the thing. I know a lot of people have been saying it, but like high school guys that aren't top 50, they're probably better off going and getting playing time and proving that they're good enough to play at the next level and then transferring. There's no reason not to do that now, unless you hope you can get NIL money as a freshman playing, sitting 8th on the bench. I don't know. How much time you think Jace Butler would have got at Illinois?
2.6 minutes per game.
Sounds right.
Yeah, we already have enough lefties.
A little bit less than Dane Danger.
Yeah.
So.
Dane Danger. Who's Dane Danger? I don't know if I've heard of him before.
Danger. He's gonna dominate the AAC next year, right here.
There's a certain player that might do a thing that we didn't expect this certain player to do a year earlier than when he was going to do it, and I think
Is this a good banner? Is that one word?
Yeah, this certain player. I got to be honest. I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen either.
I don't think it's the worst thing in the world if it did.
I mean, you talked about this player very highly.
I mean, look at the way he was
very
playing.
highly in the last.
He may or may not have been on TV last week in one of his games.
Yeah, you talked very highly of him.
His brother also may or may not have been a target of the Illini as well. I don't know. I don't. I didn't say anything. What speculation is Ethan dancing around? Redacted reclass? I don't know. You never know. I mean, this certain player, it's interesting. Yeah.
She's saying I thought the same thing.
That did happen in January.
I don't know. There's words spreading. I'm not even sure we're supposed to talk about this.
I don't think there's actually word spreading.
Armchair might come in and banhammer us right now. I don't know. We didn't
say anything. We didn't say anything. I'm just saying, like, if it were,
should I take the banner down?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with this topic. Okay, with the way you looked last week, it's not a surprise that this topic could have been brought back up, is what I'm saying.
Seems like this kid wants to play NBA basketball, right?
He looks like a 2024 guard rather than a 2025 guard.
Yeah.
Given the competition. But is there a deadline to reclass? Like, that's what I want to know.
I have no idea.
Looking it up.
Cheesang says Antigua going to coach him up. What's going to happen to those Kentucky coaches? Yeah, like, Calipari's definitely not taking Chin and Antigua, right? They're like they're just left out and
they'll end up at some other school. Yeah.
You think Antigua takes a head coach job somewhere?
Seriously? Why
know.
Would anybody want to hire him?
He
might take one at like
good.
Lincoln Land Community College, maybe.
How often does this happen with high school kids coming early? Christie was one, Cam or Max, which one went to Michigan State?
Max Christie, yeah.
Yeah. He was one. He's the most recent one I know. I'm sure that it probably happens more than you think. Like, the thing is, like, where these kids play college or where they play high school basketball, it's not really the same thing.
You know who another one was?
Who?
Imani Bates.
How about Boswell? Did Boswell come early?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Imani Bates, Jalen Duran at Memphis, who's a very good player. Shaden Sharp, remember reclass at Kentucky that didn't get to play, just sat there for half the year. Then he went to the NBA, was a lottery pick. G.G. Jackson did it at South Carolina last year too. Yeah. So it could go either way. I mean, Imani Bates didn't work out, but Duran was good, and Sharp didn't get to play.
Yeah, Christie got drafted. So,
can you recall a scenario where a player goes from starting role all year to coming off the bench? Man,
I'm talking about Ty Rodgers right now.
Yeah,
there's no way Ty Rodgers doesn't start. Booty ball. He's got to develop a jump shot.
How about, there's an example where a guy started half the season and then didn't start at all his senior year at Illinois. He is somebody that you don't like and couldn't shoot and had 4 years at Illinois and had the Big Ten tournament scoring record before Shannon broke it for Illinois. Kipper Nichols started the majority of his second and third season that didn't start at all his fourth season.
How many games did Danger start last year?
Can I interest you in the number 0? No, he started 3 games. He started when Coma was out.
Yeah. Sean Pruitt. I don't know who that is. Ethan will know. Anyways, Brad Underwood to Kentucky. Sincere coming back. Some 12-year-old coming to play at Illinois next year. You guys have a great night.
I find it humorous that people think Brad Underwood would go to, or that Kentucky would want Brad Underwood. Why are people actually concerned about that? It's crazy.
I don't know. I think that you have made the concern that it should be if they hire somebody else.
If they hire a certain guy who may or may not have won a national championship 3 years ago at a certain university that's in Texas that just opened a new arena that certainly developed Dane Danger and Matthew Meyer and wears green and yellow.
See, we don't talk speculation on this podcast.
But I think Jerome Tang would be.
It's just a live show.
I would be surprised if Baylor's number 1 target wasn't Jerome Tang if Scott Drew left for Kentucky.
If they offer Brad, we're going to have to name Tyler coach in waiting to counter. Absolutely. I'll take the job tomorrow.
If Kentucky stoops all the way down to hiring Brad Underwood, like that is not good for them. And that's not a shot at Brad at all. Brad is 60 years old. He just got to his first Elite Eight at Illinois, which is great. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Who doesn't know Sean Pruitt? Who doesn't know you? No, he was a Bruce Weber era player, which the name's familiar. It just, lost in translation. I remember like Calvin Brock and Brian Randall Moore for some reason. Dane just started 21 of 33 games last year. Oh, you know what? I had the wrong one. Yeah, it was 3 games this year. I already put this season out of the rear view. Sean Miller comes in if Brad leaves. I said earlier there's 2 names. Sean Miller, Will Wade. That's it. Cut the list off. And get Tyler Underwood the hell out of here. Tyler Underwood will not be with the team 3 years from now, by the way, whether Brad's here or not. That screams Calipari situation where his son was with Kentucky for a couple of years, then went to Detroit, then went to Vanderbilt. Now he's going to Arkansas with him. But Tyler Underwood will not be here in 3 years. So, all right. Final thoughts from the chat. Go ahead. Last call. Brad Underwood to Kentucky. Start the rumors. Has your prediction changed for Kentucky? You still think it's going to be Billy Donovan? Smart money might be on Bruce Pearl right now.
I think I text you that. I think Mick Cronin had a nice interview on the Herd today. He said that he loves it in California and he's going to Beverly Hills to have dinner. And he talked about the pressure at Kentucky and like especially what Calipari did where he won early and then like afterwards it sucked. Like he was probably miserable. That's why he left. I think that the only guy with enough ego to take that job right now in college basketball is Bruce Pearl. Like that's like Bruce Pearl is the guy. I think, and I don't mean this meanly. Like, I think guys are scared to take that job. Like they're comfortable where they're at, and they don't have to worry about all the other bullshit. Like I know that's everywhere. I know that's at Illinois. I know Underwood probably deals with it. I know Cronin, like they deal with it, but like Kentucky, it's a different level. It is a different level.
It's crazy that this is the exact thing that happened in football this year, where people were saying the same thing about the Alabama football job to replace Saban, where it's just completely different. So I can't believe we're having that conversation again, especially in basketball now with Kentucky. But yeah, I mean, it's different because, Duke and North Carolina had openings, but they had a plan. They already knew who they were bringing in pretty much. So
Underwood to the Bulls is what the chat's saying. So
all right, have fun there. I mean, have fun
Fair
coaching
enough.
for a horrific owner.
Yeah, Wesley, fun season of hoops. Transfer portal is full go now. Going to be an interesting few weeks. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what drops. We'll be back.
We will know what the Illinois roster looks like within the next 60 days. Lock it in.
Really?
Yeah, I think Jack Seas is going to probably start at the 5 next year. I'm excited about that.
I saw somebody listed him as 7 foot. Is he 7 foot?
Let me do some quick research on that.
Oh, he's 6'10". Hey, cheers to college basketball season. Well, travelers.
6'10".
You guys are enjoying your night.
Maybe he grew.
6'10". Apparently he's 7 foot. Forums say there will be news by this weekend. On who?
Could
Brad
be about
Underwood to the
a certain player who may or may not do something that we didn't expect him to do. A certain player.
Luke Goody.
Seriously though, if Jeremiah Fears reclasses, I'm just gonna say it. If Jeremiah Fears reclasses, is he the starting point guard next year? Yes. I think it's yes.
Why would he reclass if he's not?
Yeah,
I guess
know,
is the question. Like either the coaches are going to say no, you won't be, or he leaves and he goes somewhere else.
Can I make a prediction?
If he wants to reclass, and Illinois coaches don't want him to reclass, he'll just go somewhere else. So.
None of this is going to happen, by the way, guys. I'm just going to confirm it right now. The thing with Fears is going to work out. Don't worry about it. Yeah, Alabama opening first 24 hours to landing city, staying in Oregon, still gives me flashbacks. School. Yep, me too. I feel that. I was very concerned. Him and Damask. Yeah, Damask is not coming back either, guys. Can we also throw that out into the universe? That ain't happening. Damask. Okay, so Illinois right now, I'm going to say each player on the team from last year. We're going to say if they're gone or not. Okay. Shannon, gone, right? Danger, gone.
Gone. Sure.
Damask, gone. DGL, staying. Coleman, gone.
Maybe coming back.
Gone. Quincy, gone. Ty stays. Maybe. Don't be.
Whoa. I think Ty loves it. He had tears in his eyes. He's on one shining moment.
78% that Ty stays, I'll say.
He's on one shining moment.
Goody.
Stays, okay. I think he's a stays guy.
Harmon, gone. Hansberry, stays. Moretti, I don't know.
He could leave.
I could see that, especially if the certain
Jeff Alexander.
Named.
Jeff Alexander does not have a very good track.
He brings in all these fucking foreigners.
Bringing all these foreigners in. I'm just saying. He doesn't have a very good track record. I mean, they barely stay for a whole season.
This team, this 2023-24 Illini team would have beaten the piss out of UConn if we had Zachary Perrin. I'm just saying. That's a fact. Fact. Look it up. That would have happened. I guarantee it right now. People who don't get that joke are gonna struggle with me saying that. I just gotta find the next Luca. Yeah, well,
yeah. One of these days, his trips across the world will bring a great player for us. Like Illinois is funding his retirement right now. Is how I feel.
Remember, you'll get attacked. Remember when I advocated? I pretty much did everything but call West Virginia. I did everything but call West Virginia's AD and say hire Jeff Alexander.
Attack me. I don't care. That's all he does is travel the world. Finds guys that don't want to stay in this United States.
Parent situation still is. What the funniest part about the parent situation is that all you fucking idiots thought he was like, oh my God, why is he not playing? Why is he not playing? God, and he goes in there, looks like a baby deer out there trying to figure out when to run across the fucking street before getting hit by a car.
Was he here for 3 months? I don't even remember. No. Like, how many months was he here?
He looked like a baby deer getting ready to prance across the street, and then TJJ just fucking ran him over with a car. He played like 2 minutes against Indiana. It's pathetic.
Let's shut this down. All right. Oh, are we done? You got any others that you want to name? Moretti was the last one.
Did I name all of them? Kuchar.
Kuchar. He's probably going to Hollywood. UCLA would be my guess for him.
Max Williams, is he gone? AJ Red. Let me address this. I don't think I ever said this on this podcast. I saw a Facebook Illini group message. Somebody posted something on there that said that had AJ Red a part of the rotation next year. What? Why the fuck? Just get rid of that group, please. That Illini Facebook group is so dumb. It's got the dumbest people on planet Earth put into one room together.
If you're in an Illini Facebook group, you need to reevaluate your life.
Well, I'm in it just to see how dumb it is and use it content like this.
Cheesang says the Thin Ice is now a well-maintained ice rink about to be bought out by Lexington investors. Didn't he first play against TSJ? He got smoked. Yeah, TJJ. AJ has that nice spin move finger roll, though. You have to admit, yeah.
Let me just let's just look at the last 3 posts on this Facebook group to really, hammer this point home.
Why?
I didn't get to bring this up. This is terrible podcast content, but we're just doing YouTube.
We're not even. This is the name of the
podcast. Someone needs to remind Underwood that the Big Ten is all caps not the best league in the country. They haven't won the championship in 24 years! Exclamation point. Anybody who thinks of the national championship game as a reflection of a conference is a fucking idiot.
Only one exclamation point is sad too.
How does UConn get all these pushing and hacking and shoving fouls just like when they played the Illini? What does that even mean? Any other bracket and Illinois would have played in the final. I think it's crazy to think Illinois would just automatically beat Alabama. Or, would they have automatically beaten that NC State team?
Hold on, wait. So as a 3 seed, what would their route been in the other brackets? Do you have that? Can you pull that up real quick?
I can look to my right.
Okay, look to your right. Let me know who
Illinois would have played in the West. Round. In the West, it would have been Colgate, which would have been a rematch.
Yeah,
Colgate, Clemson, Arizona, Alabama.
I don't know if Illinois would beat Clemson with how they were playing.
Colgate, Clemson, Arizona, Alabama.
All right, show me what's UNC's bracket.
That was UNC's bracket.
Oh, Clemson would have beat us.
In the South, it would have been Oakland, NC State, Marquette, Duke. I think they could have gotten through that one.
Maybe.
They would have.
I don't think they would have beat Duke. So.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah. And the other one would have been Akron, Oregon, Tennessee.
That's the one we should have been in.
Tennessee, Purdue.
I just play Akron.
0-3 against those 2 teams.
Yeah. So, yeah, Illinois fans are idiots. Great. What's the average age of the folks in this group? Got to be over 55.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's Ethan only follows the old people group on Illini Facebook. It's weird, but Dane and DJ Burns matchup would have been epic.
Listen to this guy. Let me call this guy out by name because this fucking pussy tried to go after me saying,
"Pardon my French."
Shit.
Pardon my French.
Yeah, pardon the French. Whatever. This Andrew Dunford guy who attacked me because I was being too mean to him in the comments a couple months ago, and he said tonight, Cal leaving for Kentucky scares me. I feel Brad is a perfect fit for them, and I could see. I can see them making a deal he can't refuse. Oh my god, what an idiot! A couple other.
Hey, what are you gonna do if Brad actually ends up at Kentucky?
I will come on here and go absolutely nuclear. Another one for this fucking genius. By UConn winning the Natty by 15 makes our loss them look a lot better. Thanks for that one, Captain Obvious. You fucking idiot. He wants them to pass on Store, so good take there. Something no one is talking. Nope, that's a good one there. He's like 2 for 7 so far. Part of me wants Purdue to win, so it makes the conference look better, but the other part of me wants UConn to beat them by 25, so it makes us look better. Yeah, this guy. Here's the one I'm looking for. Here we go.
Oh, found it.
Moretti, Rogers, Goody, Hansberry, Danger, DGL, Harris, and Red. It's a pretty solid lineup. You think that's a solid lineup? That's the worst 8 play. They would finish last in the Big Ten with that lineup. What a fucking idiot. That's the worst lineup. That's worse than the team that lost 21 games, dude. Moretti, Rogers, Goody, Hansberry, Deja, DGL, Sincere, and Red. Oh my god!
Man.
I hope he sees this. Anyway, I mean I figured it was that idiot that posted it, but
DGL gonna complain about playing time pretty fast.
DGL might be in the same spot in terms of playing time this year, which I don't know. Makes me wonder why. Like I don't think it's a guarantee that you see Moretti and Ty both coming back.
Well, that's how I think Moretti is probably gone. I think Brad would rather take DGL's upside than Moretti's upside.
I think it depends on the style you want to play, but yeah, I mean, if you want to be like, let's
be long and athletic. That's what Brad wants. He doesn't want French white guy throwing assists.
You can't really you can't really win a national championship with a 6-foot guard without having athletic wings around him.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you look at the team that had his brother at Texas Tech, that team didn't win a national championship.
Hengel says we need a segment next year reading posts from that group.
I'm going to write that down, actually.
Yeah.
Let me.
She's saying insiders said they expect 1 to 2 more guys transferring. Could be Ty and Moretti. I just don't like. I have a hard time seeing Ty transfer.
I mean, I don't like.
And if he does, I guess he does. But like, I would be shocked if he does. If he does,
I wonder like what he would be looking for if he transferred. You know,
right? I mean.
Does he want to go to another power conference school and play a similar role that he played at Illinois? Or does he want to go to a lower level mid-major and try to find his offensive game and whatever, you know?
He has a better chance of developing that here, but I could be wrong. I guess he could be dominant inside at a mid-major because he doesn't have to face 7-foot bigs or whatever, but I
so if two guys,
I think Ty just feels like an Illinois guy. I do. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think
it's a different culture. I get
both him and Sincere are that. They're the opposite of what the other freshmen were in their class.
Exactly. Yeah.
If two guys transfer, who are the most likely? Moretti and
I'm going to say Goody, honestly.
Yeah. I'm
going to say Goody over Ty. Unless you want to throw Hansberry in there instead.
No, that's not happening. No. Props to Brad, by the way. People, he can't ever get freshmen to stay. He's got 2 guys that barely played this year. They're both probably going to stay.
Yeah.
Hansberry and DGL. Sorry, he couldn't make Epps happy, who wanted to go chuck up, hit shot, chuck up fucking threes at Georgetown and suck.
Yeah, Goody has his degree. He has house money.
Yeah, Goody should go to Goody
should go to Santa Clara or something.
If UConn is desperate, Goody could be great there, honestly. Not great, but like he could definitely do all that stuff. Yeah. You don't think Hurley could make Goody good?
Cam Spencer good?
No, but he could do some of the same stuff. Just do it off the bench. Just have him run around, rebound, make threes.
And he plays hard.
Yeah, I
He's
just don't think
hard-nosed.
he's high enough level for UConn to put any value or resources
Yeah.
into wanting him. But
His defense, Cheesang says, yeah.
it depends on who's around him.
Goody was out in the quad checking out the clips with other students. Confirms he's not leaving. I mean, he said on a radio show he wasn't leaving. Like, I don't think kids are like coaches, like where they say we're not leaving and then we leave, but maybe they are. But like Goody has said that he's coming back. Ty hasn't said anything. I hate that we're in the era where we have to wait for an announcement. Like Sincere came out today with all that crap because some random ass Twitter said Sincere's deleted all his shit off Illinois, whatever. Like, and then people said that he deleted like NILs. So I'm sure those contracts expired. Dude deleted them. Pay me my money. So,
I just got a text that said, "Don't rule out Nate Oates for Kentucky."
he
And
already announced.
And then I saw that it was 6 hours ago, so that's over.
I'm saying coaches say it all the time.
I ruled it out myself.
I don't think Goody would. I don't think Goody would have went on air and said, "I'm coming back" if he didn't want to come back. And I think Goody knows what he is. Like, that's true. Do we want Goody?
Yeah, yeah.
You just said
it. We're gonna go into the year again where they have like 11 or 12 guys that we think should be playing, and it's just gonna be so fucking annoying to figure out the rotation. There's gonna be people complaining, why isn't Jack Stees playing at all? Because that guy's not gonna play at all. Hopefully he's fine staying here for 1 year, developing, and then similar to Hansberry, let him go year 2.
Yeah. Wesley says the paranoia around this time is crazy. Everyone on edge until the portal closes. Yeah, you're not wrong. That's why we do a lot of portal time. That's why we're doing it at 11:40 at night on a live when I got 4 whiskeys in me. Okay.
Think about how much it sucks for these assistant coaches and coaches too. Having to deal with all that shit. Got to make sure, this guy, we don't want him to leave. We got to do this. And
you want to know why Jay Wright's never coming back?
Exactly.
Because of this shit. So
they're lucky that Tom Izzo eats and breathes basketball, or he'd be gone too.
I think he's getting tired of it.
I don't think he could. I think he'll die sitting.
That's
on that
true. That's true. I don't think he can Roy Williams it watching basketball games. I would agree with that.
Well, Roy Williams. Shout out to Roy Williams for not making everything about himself like Coach K, even though he does go to a lot of games, but he didn't have the whole tour.
Heard Piper said Jack Stees is good with development and is bought in supposedly.
As he should be. He's seventh ranked player in the state, comes from this state, 3-star. He should want to develop.
Small, yeah. That's like getting Tisdale back in 2006 or whatever.
Except Tisdale came from an absolute shithole of a town, so which is most of Central Illinois, by the way, folks. I hate to bring it to you. Don't go wherever you're at in the state of Illinois. Don't go to Central Illinois, basically.
They had Tisdale and Algier out of that little ass town, so good for them.
Great. I mean, if I wanted to turn this town into a basketball powerhouse, I probably could.
That's true. The first on-campus interviews for portal guys are Thursday this week.
I saw that Maddox was visiting
I don't know
Louisville.
what that means.
Maddox from Toledo visiting Louisville. So
yeah, that's about the only guy I want that Chody said that we're looking at.
Well, that's not his name, but okay.
Oh, sorry. Cheesang, we need our trusty quad scouts to see who we touring.
Yeah, that's true. We need people. We need boots on the ground to see who's.
Yeah, can we get some boots on the ground? We can pay you 99 cents an hour.
I don't know if
3 hours. 3 hours a week.
Can we just get somebody to sneak on campus all the time and do that?
Well, that's a little weird.
I
bet another podcaster. Sorry. Are we done yet?
The comments keep rolling in. They're nonstop.
It's just Wesley and Cheesang, though.
Hey, they're good guys, you know.
Are all the FAU games going to be at guys going to be at Michigan or just Vlad?
I don't think they're all going to be there, but I do think that they'll get a couple. The Vlad thing is interesting because if they get Wolf and Vlad, That could be really awesome or really not great. The good thing, though, the difference is that Wolf is a
Wolf
guy who
can play
can put
the
it on the
floor, though,
floor.
right?
Yeah, he can put it on the floor and do a lot of things offensively. So they would just be having 2 7-footers.
Chizang, drop the link. We'll look at it right now. See what's going on.
Not
Not much
buzz.
buzz around. The others winding up there.
Here's a name for Kentucky, Buzz Williams, huh? Do you think there are what do you think the odds are of the Kentucky coach going SEC, staying in the SEC? You think it's more likely that the next Kentucky head coach is an SEC coach right now?
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of feel that too. I feel if it's not Billy Donovan, it's probably going to be Bruce Pearl, which is, God, I always liked watching the Kentucky teams.
I feel like I did something.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely in my head, and I thought about it in the way that, like, if Kentucky wanted him, then he would do it just because, like, he's at Auburn now. I mean, that's not.
Apparently he's already said he's interested. So
He's
I don't know if anybody else is going to be interested. Is my thing. Like,
right now, the Bruce Pearl thing has got to be one-sided, right? There's no way Kentucky's like, oh, we got Bruce Pearl at the top of our list.
Correct.
He's a good coach. He's had success at Auburn, which is not the easiest place to be successful at.
Correct. But they're going to throw $15 million at Hurley and see what happens.
Yeah, and I think it'd be hilarious if after Louisville tried for like 4 months pretty much to get Scott Drew, if he ends up going to Kentucky instead. That would say a lot about where Louisville's at as a program.
I'm surprised 3 people are watching right now, to be honest. She's saying we got 239. I don't know what you're talking about.
95% of it is fake Twitter viewers, but yeah.
YouTube's at 12. YouTube's at 12.
Yeah. Cal's return to Rupp is going to be must-see TV.
Oh, there's people watching the quad cam. What's going on in the quad? Hey, share the link. Share the link.
Will it match or be worse than Cooley return to Providence? It'll be way more talked about because he's a way bigger name. But I don't know if they'll be. I don't know if they'll be. Providence fans are pretty crazy.
Eagle, good night, buddy. I gotta go to bed too. Can we wrap this up?
I was gonna look up the quad cam real quick.
Oh my gosh! I just realized how sleepy I look.
Here you go.
Get the quad cam. I gotta go get some popcorn or something. Oh my goodness! There's people out. Go to bed.
Who are these people? I don't see any basketball players down there. Interesting. Let me know if you guys spot anything on there. I think it's a good sign of the program. Yeah, I don't think we should be worried, though. I don't think it's realistic to be worried. Sleeper said, yeah, sleepers, please. A couple people walking by, yeah. I don't see any notable basketball players, though.
Bootzilla coming out of nowhere. Hey, if you guys are ever in the Dells, check out this place. Not sponsored.
How about this quote
Cobb
from
Robbers.
this quote from Dan Hurley on the game plan against Purdue?
Not sponsored.
Quote, we didn't want to give up threes. We didn't care if Edey took 25, 28 shots to get 35 points. The game plan was no Smith, no Lawyer, no Gillis, no Jones. Keep that collective to under 20 points as a group, and they had no chance to win no matter what Edey did. So it sounds like their game plan worked to perfection.
Genius.
And also, UConn reportedly will do everything they can to keep Hurley if Kentucky comes calling.
Sleeper said they believe there's a small chance Coleman could transfer. I think that's crazy. Can't imagine Coleman transferring unless it's to be close to his girlfriend.
Don't
Is she
listen
in
to
Mississippi?
anything. Don't listen to, like, I don't hate the Sleepers guys, but I'm not taking that too seriously right now.
Didn't know we were doing a pod tonight. We're not doing a pod. This is just a live show. So will not be posted to anything. Please come back and watch it later. If Coleman transfers, who cares at this point? Like,
yeah, don't want him. Guy sucks.
why are we talking about the quad? I'm awake 10 minutes to midnight watching two guys watch a live video of the quad. We were talking about basketball not too long ago. Sorry, Wes.
So, if you're Dan Hurley, what
What
like,
are we doing?
He's not going to leave you.
I agree with Wesley right now. Why are we still alive?
I'm talking about basketball, dude. There's two people right down there. You see that?
Look at them. What are they doing? That's quad so late. Is that legal?
I think that's AJ Store. I think it's AJ Store and Luke Goody down there.
Luke Goody, yeah. Cheesang agrees. Yeah, he's not in chat. He's got to be walking the quad if he's not in chat.
Yeah, we're getting back to ball for like 2 minutes, and then I'm cutting this. But
all right.
Yeah, I think Hurley. I don't know. He's got to stay.
Hurley's not going anywhere. I'll shave my head if Hurley goes to Kentucky.
Kentucky's going to go full court press, I think. It's going to be about how much, like, does Hurley really want the money? And just the Hurley guys are Northeast guys. That's why I wish Bobby Hurley wasn't at Arizona State right now. Those guys are Northeast guys. It's better for the sport when you have those types of guys in the Big East.
You think Bobby ever gets back to the Big East?
Yeah, I think it'll happen at some point. I don't know. Like, Arizona State's been trending in the wrong direction for a couple of years. They didn't make the tournament last year, to be fair.
I'm looking good for him.
Yeah, they've struggled to bring
in. Hurley's getting paid no matter what. Yeah.
I think Hurley's salary. Hurley's
should go to the NBA.
Hurley's salary might double. It'll be close to Self, I think. I think he's making just over 5 right now, and Self's making like just over 9. So
definitely
unfinished business for Hurley. They had a bunch of freshmen this year that didn't really play very much or got limited minutes to develop those guys, go into the portal. I think Hurley has everything he wants at UConn right now. So just because Kentucky has this superiority feeling or complex that they're so much better, like Kentucky hasn't done a fucking thing in the tournament for 5 years.
I mean,
UConn just won
3 jobs though, right? But you're talking about a coach though. Like they haven't done.
We're talking about a coach who is a Northeast guy, went to Seton Hall, has won back-to-back national championships. I think that a job like UConn is a dream job for a guy like Hurley.
I agree.
And lifetime contract territory, yes. UConn should say 30 years. Give us 30 years.
If Illinois ever wins a national title, you guys should do a 2-hour live stream. We've been alive for an hour and 15 minutes. And Illinois lost 2 rounds ago.
Yeah, so what? 24-hour. We'll do, if Illinois ever wins a national championship, we'll do a 96-hour live stream. How's that?
I'm not committing to that.
You're not gonna. Do you think they're ever gonna fucking win a national championship? Come on.
I'll commit to 6.
That would be pretty boring after a while.
If we got like subs and like we could play video games and stuff. Like we know how to live stream. We've done that before.
Yeah, we could play College Hoops 2K8.
Yeah, when the new one comes out, we'll play that one.
Well, they're never gonna make another college basketball game.
And they have Carle Medical on standby.
Carle, where's that guy? I
don't know. Carly hasn't been here.
Oh yeah, did you see that retweet I had earlier of that that guy who was talking shit about Brad?
I don't think so.
This guy on Twitter said, so whenever somebody whenever somebody said that Jace Butler was running from the grind, this guy said, running from stubborn Brad like Pods, Epps, and others. Maybe he saw the UConn game and Andy Katz interview or listened to Van Gundy chuckle at Brad's coaching. LOL. And then I said, how do we live in a world where morons like this think they know ball? Crazy. What a fucking stupid tweet. And then somebody replied to that and said all of his tweets are stupid.
Must be an Illinois fan. Should we not hate on Illinois fans as much as we do?
Ah, fuck him. Is Brad actually... There was another retweet of that tweet that agreed and said Brad was terrible X's and O's guy. Do you really think Brad's a terrible X's and O's guy? Come the fuck on. He's a good X's and O's guy. He's not great. He's good at it.
If you had to put Dan Hurley somewhere and then Brad Underwood, how much of a difference would that be?
30 or 40 levels probably.
Okay. Okay.
But like,
how many coaches between him and Dan though? Like, is Dan just like 10 above everybody else?
I don't know. There's probably 60 or 70. Like, there's a lot of really good X's and O's coaches who don't win because they don't get, the players.
Talent. Yeah.
But yeah, I just think that
he needs a better? Do you think he needs to change his assistants? I don't know why I said that like I was British.
No, I think Jeff Alexander's a 0, but what do I know? I think one of the problems is like we can't just say, oh, Brad's an awful X's and O's guy. Like maybe at this level he's not the greatest at it, but does a lot of other things well. And he's had 2 top 3 offenses in his career, and I think 3 top 10 efficiency offenses in his career. So I feel like that's not nothing. And it's not like that Oklahoma State team was super talented. They had like 1 or 2 NBA guys. And this year's Illinois team has what? 1.5 NBA guys? 2 NBA guys? Yeah, so let's relax just by blindly saying that Brad's an awful X's and O's guy.
Am I crazy, or did Edie say something to Hurley first during the game? Everyone on Twitter saying Hurley started it, but I think he was talking to the refs. I think he was talking to both of them.
Well, Edie should have been fucking standing there. How about that?
I don't hate either of it.
Scoreboard.
This year's offense, Jay Wright gets some credit. Yeah, Hurley said stop sharing secrets to guys that don't know anything.
That couldn't have been talking about Brad. Everybody relax.
Could have been. All right. It's midnight. Time to go.
Coaching brotherhood and all that stuff. Oh my God, it's been 17 minutes since you said it was 11:40. Fuck, Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's enough. We'll be back with an Illini episode. I say we'll
see you, Wes. See you, Bootzilla.
We'll do an Illini episode the next time there's like actual news. So check out tomorrow morning YouTube video from the last episode of the podcast.
Back to the quad real quick for Wesley.
Transport. I'm trying to get it here. Oh, my screen just broke. Oh, we're back. The YouTube video for portal targets from the last podcast episode is coming out tomorrow morning.
Check that out. What are those two doing?
Oh, I think that's AJ Store.
What are they doing out there?
Looks like
Wesley, do you just watch? Wes, do you just watch this randomly?
I think it was saying who brought it up.
Oh, jeez.
I think that was AJ Store and Luke Goody, by the way. Anyway, all right.
Definitely.
We'll talk to everybody.
You're off the grass, Wesley. Tell them.
We'll see everybody next time. Goodbye.